I got advice from a client recently that in my past 14 years of helping people retire, I hadn't heard before, so I want to share it with you. I went out with him not too long ago, and he's been retired for about 7 years. And he told me he had a group meetup with his buddies, and some of them are retired and some of them are not, but the topic of discussion was retirement. And they were asking him for advice on how he did it, because according to them, it seems like he's got it all figured out. Now, he's a humble guy and he obviously knows no one's got it all figured out, but he did have some really good ideas, so I want to share them with you. By the way, I'm Dave Zoller and I own a retirement planning firm, Streamline Financial, and we specialize in income planning, tax planning, and investment planning. But I'll get right to the story. So as we were at lunch, I was asking him, why do you think they thought that you had it all figured out? And what makes his retirement experience seem so much better than everybody else's, or compared to people who are not having that same experience? And some of the discussion that we had at lunch was talking about those 3 essentials. And he was able to find all 3, but he also did something before he retired, a few years before he retired, that set himself up for success. And those 3 essentials, by the way, if you've seen any of the recent videos, then you probably have heard of them. And it's the 3 C's. And it's just creativity. We're creative beings. We can create things from ideas, and we got to be creative at work when we were working, but we also have to make sure that we can continue to create and be curious after work. Because some of the happiest retirees that I know, they're the most curious ones, and they're the most creative ones too. That was C number 1. The second one is connection. Our closest friends could be people that we've been with between ages 25 and 55 or 60 during our working years, our work friends, right? And it could be quite an adjustment all of a sudden when you're not seeing them anymore. It can take effort to keep those friendships going, but you can also deepen relationships with family, with God, or maybe new grandbabies on the way. That's connection. That's C number 2. C number 3 is contribution. When we're not able to help others, then there's something missing in our life. And our work helps us help others, right? But we have to continue that important C after work ends. It could end up being contribution to a cause or a charity or a person or a group of people where we can use our knowledge and our skill or maybe our money to help. But that's contribution. Those are the 3 C's. But there's something else that this client who was given this advice said that I didn't think about before, and he brought it up in this discussion. So when we were talking about contribution, he mentioned that he had started purposefully finding time and using it for contribution well before he had retired. Actively found ways to serve and help others with a small percentage of his time, his working time. And as retirement came, it was almost like a natural progression. That percentage that he was using to help others grew a little bit. And it wasn't like a brand new life. Sometimes retirement can feel like a complete change and transition and shift, but it wasn't like that. It was more of a steady transition into this retirement life that was filled with those 3 C's of contribution, connection, and creativity. So the piece of advice that he had was take time before you stop working to just explore these 3 C's more, especially the contribution one. Don't wait until you have free time in retirement. Invest it now, right? Take quiet time to think about life in retirement before you get there. I've got a video actually on prompts to help you think about retirement before you get there. That should pop up on the screen or be below. So take some time in the morning or whenever you have your best think time and start exploring those 3 C's. Whether you're retired already or not retired, it's worth the investment.